That's what we do with life. What's
Yeah.
programmed to self-sabotage, even though it's painful, it's your worst nightmare, it's a comfortable, recognizable place where we go in the brain every single time. So my
Yeah.
advice to anybody, or everybody going through this, is we need to smash the box. Otherwise, you'll keep getting back in.
Hey, friend, welcome back. I'm Lindsie, and today's conversation is one I really want you to lean into because it's not just about fixing a behavior, it's about understanding what's underneath it. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Robb Kelly, PhD, a world renowned addiction expert who's known for one core belief: treat the problem, not the symptoms. Robb has spent decades working with addicts and alcoholics across the world. And what makes his work especially powerful is that it's not just professional, it's personal. He's a recovered alcoholic himself, and he shares parts of his story in this episode that are raw, real, and honestly unforgettable. And even if you're thinking addiction doesn't apply to me, I want you to keep listening because we also talk about things like the subconscious mind and why willpower isn't enough, how trauma gets stored and shows up as patterns you can't seem to break, the link between addiction and food, emotional eating, and self-sabotage, and simple daily practices you can start using right now to begin shifting your internal dialogue. As always, the content shared on PCOS Unfiltered is for informational and educational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are not intended to serve as medical advice. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet, exercise, or treatment plan. The information shared is based on personal experience and expert interviews and is not a substitute for professional medical guidance. This conversation is about healing at the root, so you can stop living in the same loop and finally feel free. All right, let's get into it with Dr. Robb Kelly. So,
Mm.
so I want to dive into the addiction side and the mindset that kind of goes along with that.
Well, they often get this question, what's the difference between food addiction, drug addiction, sex addiction? What's the difference? And the answer is none. They're
Mhm.
both as powerful. They both can ruin your life. And they're not about the food. Not about it. They're not about the food or the drugs or the sex. It's got nothing to do with them. Most of it is trying to gain power back because most of our life, other people run our lives and we don't like it. So the only power we get, the anorexia nervosa, all that stuff is gaining that power for a short period of time. It's got nothing
Yeah.
to do with the food. But then the bad thing is with food addiction is in America, probably 90% of stuff you buy from the supermarket is non-edible. Now, when I say that, of course, it's edible, but we got to look for the rancid oils, the sunflower, and all that stuff with the colors, the GMO. When we eat something, anything, it doesn't get used in the sauce that we eat it. So I eat, I don't know, chicken or hamburger, whatever it is. It has to be methylated into the sauce that the body can use. It's common biology. In America, though, most of the stuff we buy off the shelf, the body cannot methylate. So what happens is the body can't methylate, so that becomes a deficiency. That deficiency causes the addictions, causes the liver cancers. That's what causes it. So we have to look at what we're eating first of all: quality food, quality sleep. Addiction. We can cure addiction. Well, you can't cure after 11,000 patients. Yeah, we can. Of course we can, but it's not about the food. So we're on a bad start with food anyway, because if you want to eat clean in America, it's going to cost you twice as much to
Mhm.
do that. But there's certain things you can do and live better. But what is an addiction? Well, it's not what the dictionary tells us. By the way, the medical fraternity don't know nothing about alcoholism and addiction or food or sex, whatever it is. It's something you do over and over again compulsively that has an adverse effects on your life. So if you're, you know, if food's the only thing you're thinking about, you're eating, you're distancing yourself from your husband and the kids and stuff, that's a problem. If you train every day and you look amazing, but you're going on vacation with the wife and kids, and the first thing you do when you land is try and find the nearest gym, that's a problem. So it's all about balance. But if we can shift that power from self sabotage to self care, wouldn't that be the answer? Well, our studies show there are billions of neural pathways in the brain. Most of them self-sabotaging when you go through childhood trauma. But 300 neural pathways die every single day. What are you replacing them with? Are you replacing it with new routines, new dialogue, or are we replacing it with the same old thing? Oh my God, I'm hungry. Oh my God, because that's not true. It's not true, you know? But we have to get rid of that patterning. And again, we come back to the patterning, you know? It's like if you ever been to the seaside with a bunch of guys from work, you get down there, you have a few beers, you make a fool of yourself. At the end of the day, you get back on the bus. Which seat you sit in? It's usually the one you travel there. So the point where you may say, hey, that's my seat you're sat in, your seat, but the brain's been programmed that safety is best. If I did it a certain way, that's the best. A girl in Manchester got, snatched up the side of the street. Uh, 15 years old, 16 years old, still uniform, blonde hair, blue eyes. Manhunt was huge for her back in 1968, I think it was. Couldn't find her, presumed dead after several months. 9 months later, police cars following another car down the country road who has a black broken light. So they pull him over. Back in the day, they had no communication and nothing, can't check on anybody. So they used to ask you a question. Hey, is this your car? Yep. What's in the trunk? Yellow jacket, pair of boots. Oh, okay, it's your car. This guy was cagey. So they open the trunk and there's a stolen screwdriver. At the tab on, no receipt. So now they're allowed, back in the day, to go back to their house. No search warrant. And they searched the house and they found lawnmowers, they found ladders, they found all crazy drills. And while they're looking, they found this box in the corner. It's 4 foot high by about 12 foot wide. And the police officers said to them, we know you have more stolen goods in there. And he denied all knowledge of the box. So when they smashed the lock and opened the box, there was the girl that went missing 9 months before. She was alive, but he used to take her out every day. He used to do what you think he's going to do. Bathe, toilet, get back in the box every single day for 9 months. Mm-hmm. So when the police officer called the woman officer over, the woman police officer bent over. She took this young girl's hand. She helped her step out of the box. She took a police coat off and she put it around the girl. It's the first thing the girl did. She got back in the box. And that's what we do with life. What's programmed to self-sabotage, even though it's painful, it's your worst nightmare, it's a comfortable, recognizable place where we go in the brain every single time. So my advice to anybody, or everybody going through this, is we need to smash the box. Otherwise, you'll keep getting back in all the time. Mm-hmm. And this is what it's like to change your mind and routines around you. It's very, very important that we do that.
Mm-hmm. So a few years back, well, I guess 5 years now, it's crazy. I started having a reaction to gluten. For me, it was super easy because I felt awful from it. It had been going on for years, but it finally kind of came to a head and felt awful. I knew exactly how I was going to feel if I ate it going forward. So I just gave it up. No problem. But I've learned there's so many people out there. Like I would talk to women that are just like, I just love it, but I'm going to suffer later. And I realized like I was the minority in that case. There's, even though they know the consequence and they know how they're going to feel, they continue to do it. And I'm sure that can be applied to, that can be applied to anything.
It can. I mean, with alcohol, I was programmed because of the hypothalamus to drink alcohol. So if you would have said to me during my drinking days, especially homeless, I'm going to walk you into a bar now. There's half a pint of whiskey and a gun. And if you drink the whiskey, you've got to use your gun on yourself. I'm taking that all day long. I'm taking that deal all day long. Because I'm not thinking about that, I'm thinking about this. Because my part of the brain is saying, if you don't drink this, you're going to die. Even though it's to the contrary. And it's the same with every other addiction. We believe if we don't do that and go down that route, some harm is going to come to us and we might die. But we stay in that mundane routine of self-harm all of the time.
Yeah.
You've got a lot, if in America, you go over to England, and I'm American, guys, I'm not, not here British, I'm not British anymore, I'm American. That's despite the accent, I've got to tell you that for a start. But wow, to be. But you go over to England and buy McDonald's fries, there's 3 or 4 ingredients in it. Why is there 22 ingredients in McDonald's fries over here? Because you can leave them in the cupboard, not fridge, in the cupboard for a year, go back to them, they're exactly the same. You can put McDonald's fries out in your garden. Not one animal will touch it. Not one animal.
Mm-hmm.
And yet there's billions of fries, portions of fries served every day, you know. But it's cheap, it's good, it's cheap, it's okay. Don't worry. We need to start rethinking stuff. We've got ourselves in a bad state of affairs over here where we believe that the government, we believe that the food industry, we believe that the pharmaceutical company has got our best interest at heart. And they haven't, guys. If only you knew, they haven't. I mean, is anybody out there, please let me know if this is the contrary, is anybody out there gone to the doctor for an illness or ailment or disease, been prescribed medication, took that medication as prescribed, cured the illness, so you don't have to take the pill anymore? Never. Never has that ever happened, because once they get you, you're done.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, I see it a lot, with my clients as well. And I try not to, I don't want to bash traditional medicine. There is a time and place for it, of course.
100%.
I worked in the emergency room, and definitely there's needs, a need for that. But yes, when we're talking about chronic conditions, symptoms, no, the goal is not to heal it, to cure it. And understandably, that might look different for different people, but yeah, like you just said, you get put on a medicine, just like you were saying, the client that had been on Wellbutrin for several years and just continuing to take it. And then unfortunately, we as Americans get caught up in that cycle. You just think, okay, well then now you have a side effect from that medication, so I gotta go back to the doctor and get another medication. And I would see it in my work, and that's why I do what I do today, because I don't want that for anybody. I want their eyes to.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about psych meds. I'm not talking about liver or heart, and it's nothing to do with that. I'm talking about psych meds that they don't know too much about psych, so we introduce these drugs, but you don't always have to take it. If you're let me preempt this. If you're depression, take the freaking meds. What I'm saying is can we look at why my sero's, or can we look at, well, if I will never take a pill, painkiller, if I have headache. I'd rather know why my head is aching, because I know there's no pain receptors in the brain, so I can't feel pain. But the outside, the dora, it's the thin skin that covers the brain. Why is that contracting? That's the only reason you get headaches usually in migraines, is what's happening to the body that's started on the dora that's making it expand.
Yeah. I try to usually get to the root cause of it. And for me, it was gluten, actually. That was causing, and it turned into migraines.
Right. Isn't that crazy though? If you said someone to that years ago, it's gluten that's caught you, go, that's not, that can't be true. And yet here we are.
Yeah, it was so bad. I mean, and kind of taking this back, for women with PCOS, because they also deal with a lot of a lot of mental, illnesses, health conditions, and depression, anxiety. It ties in a lot of times to the body image issues, the things that they're dealing with, their cycles, all that stuff.
Yeah, and we're told that in magazines, and we're told we've got to look this way, and if we don't, we're misfits and we don't fit in. And we did studies on this about 6 years ago, and weight and size. I mean, this chart that we look at in magazines, if you are 5'8" and you're between 30, and you should weigh like 10 pounds. It's not true. We've evolved, guys, since them days. But I'm a true believer that your weight does not define you. Your color of your hair does not define you. You are a product, or a being, or a spiritual being that's meant to come in this world, get as much joy as you can, learn lessons, pass it on, and live your life to the full. I mean, that's basically it. And nobody can, if anybody, this is what I found in this business. Nobody will criticize or judge you that's doing as good as you or better. So if anyone's, said, oh yeah, you're this or you're that, it's like they've got to look at themselves. Because I know that when I get criticized for doing stuff uh, online, you can bet that that guy that's criticized me, he's probably sat in his mum's bedroom after his fourth marriage. Kids don't want to see him. He's overweight and he's criticizing me. And that's part of it. You can't upset me without my permission. You really can't. And God bless you if you have to spend your day doing that. But the body image stuff is just crazy. Now, I lost all that weight because of my health. I'm 64. I can't continue to carry 350 pounds around with me. I just can't do it. So I did. And then you too. It's just that we feel better. I mean, do I feel better getting in size 32 pants rather than 50 waistline? 100%. Of course, I feel better, but it's not because of the body image. I really don't care what you think about me. You've only got to see me somewhere and realize the clothes I'm wearing. I've got pink shoes, yellow trousers, and I don't care. I'm past judging in my mind anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I always tell people, because a lot of people sign up for weight loss. Like that seems to be, especially for women with PCOS, there's a good part of that that are overweight. But once they start realizing, like when they go through my 90-day program, it's really about how they're feeling. And they realize that weight loss becomes a side effect of better health, and all those aches and pains that they've had for years that they've, disregarded are gone
I
along with
love
all the other
that. I
things. Yeah,
love
they
that.
just feel better in their clothes. They're more confident in general.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 So it's not so much about the glamour, it's about being healthy. You want to be
Mhm.
around for your grandkids.
Yeah.
So the guidance is obviously it was a certain weight. But listen, we in our experiment, we had like two girls that were 6 foot. One was 5'11", was 6 foot. One girl weighed 190 or something. And when she walked in, she was like stunning. Like everything matched. She had
Mhm.
jeans on. Then a guy walks in the same. He was like a bit of a bodybuilder. He looks amazing. And yet on the chart, they're grossly overweight. And that's not true. That's false, guys. So why don't you love your body as God or spirit or something wants it to be? What you cared about other people think or what other people look like. Are you happy?
Mhm.
Now, most overweight people that we've dealt with are not happy because, and I hate to say this, and please block this out if it's too harsh, but people in job interviews they're judged by their weight. If you walk in and you're overweight and this, you know, cat model walks in, and there's a good chance that she's going to get it because men are pigs half the time when they're hiring people. So you've got to look at that. It's like you get more confident when you're the person you want to be. I still look good at 350, would you believe, Lindsie? I still carried a lot of muscle. I was in size for myself, but walking up the stairs killed me.
Yeah.
Bending down killed me so do it for yourself, guys. Don't do it for any
Yeah.
magazine of health. Your program is amazing. See, I love it.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
funny, like once you fix this, which is kind of nothing. Yeah, I want to lose weight. Yeah, I want to stop drinking. Once you address this, everything else goes away. It's like,
Yep.
hey, Dr. Rob, I've got to drink from also depressed. Really? Yeah, you think? Of course you're depressed. And once that goes, and we see some crazy illnesses, Lindsay, disappear. We're talking about diabetes. We're talking about all sorts of back pains, and it goes.
Yeah.
Once you're
Yeah.
happy with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you said it perfectly there. And I was going to say that to kind of wrap it up, love yourself. Like take that first step to do something, for yourself, change the
Mm.
pattern. So you can start moving forward and start your journey.
Stay away from the scale.
Yeah. And that too. Oh yeah. That's one thing
I was
I,
I was obsessed with the scales until about 12 months ago. I jump
Mhm.
on, and do you know what? This is crazy, and you'll understand this, Lindsay. If I was 2 pounds over, my day was terrible.
Yeah. That's yeah. So I talk about that with my clients. They can weigh themselves in the beginning, and then we do like a midway, midpoint weigh in, and then
Brilliant.
at the very
Yeah.
end. But in between, we also discuss wins all the time, all those off the scale wins. But we do pictures and we do measurements too. But people will be
Yeah.
so focused on that number on the scale. But I explain to them why, because like you just said, you'll see that number because it's going to naturally fluctuate, day to day, but you see that
Yeah.
number and it like ruins your whole day. but it also raises your cortisol, prevents you from losing weight, stresses out your body more. And I'm trying to regulate the nervous system with them. So yeah, stay away from the scale.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Be happy with yourself. Be happy with the physique you've got. Lose weight for the real reason, like health.
Yeah.
Don't lose weight just getting them skinny jeans that you used to 40 years ago. You do it for a healthy reason. You can get healthy. You can drop weight easily. The mind's got a lot to do with that. You can be anybody you want to do, but do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else, because
exactly,
that's crazy. We're programmed to do that.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I loved this. Last question is, how can somebody find you and connect with you?
So if you're listening and not watching, guys, I spell my name with 2 B's, ROBBKELY.com is the website. Dr. Robb Kelly in any search engine, up or pop, good or bad. I'm thinking I'm down to 2 haters, so that's good. And listen. I want to do this because so last thing my daughter said to me, Daddy, please stop drinking, and I couldn't do it. That's me on a visit, wasted, while I was homeless. And that's my daughter. Daddy, please stop drinking. We're going to give 10 copies away, guys, free of charge. So if you contact myself or Lindsie and go, hey, don't bite off Amazon. Hey, I love that guy on, and I love you even more, Lindsie. Can I get a book? I'm going to sign the book personally to you. I'm going to pay for the shipping and everything. And the only thing you have to do is pass it on to somebody else that may need it after you've read it.
Awesome. Love that. I'll link everything in the show notes for everybody as well. But good. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me. And I think there was a lot of good information from it all. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lindsie. Bye, guys.
Wow, what a conversation. If something he shared hit you in the chest a little, whether it was his story, the way he described the subconscious mind, or the idea of smashing the box, I just want to say, you're not alone, and there is nothing wrong with you for struggling. One of my biggest takeaways from today is this: it's not about the thing, not the food, not the alcohol, not the habit. It's about what your nervous system learned to do to survive. And the good news is, those patterns can be rewired. I want to thank Dr. Robb Kelly for joining me today. And if you want to connect with him, you can find him at robbkelly.com. I'll also link everything in the show notes so it's easy for you. And as he mentioned, something really generous, he's offering a limited number of signed book copies to listeners. So if you want one, reach out to me or follow the instructions in the show notes, and we'll make sure you have what you need to get connected. If you love this episode, take a screenshot, share it to your stories, and tag me so I can thank you and cheer you on. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leaving a quick review helps more people find these conversations, especially the ones who need them most. As always, friend, your body is not betraying you, it's communicating with you. And you don't have to white knuckle your way to healing. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you on the next episode of PCOS Unfiltered. Nourish, Heal, Thrive.